In last week's video, I travelled north to the Peak District for 48 hours of car camping. I hiked up to the top of Bamford Edge, where I captured an amazing sunset, before travelling on to the next location for this next video here at Mam Tor. I hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome back to day 2 here in the Peak District. It's a very dark Peak District, to be honest. It's only just gone 6 o'clock in the morning though. We've still got an hour and a half until sunrise. But I'm going to have some breakfast, wait for the light to get a little bit stronger, and then we'll head off. So, I'm still in the process of just climbing Mam Tor at the moment, and the views from here are absolutely special. They really are. Like I said yesterday, like I said last week, this place really does have a massive wow factor to it. Really worth getting up out early this morning. If you hear tales, the Mam Tor, it's a very popular tourist spot. Get a lot of people coming out here. Seriously, you don't realise. You think to yourself, nah, there's not that many people can get out and out early in the morning. Hopefully you can hear me because it's so windy up here at the moment. But the hills just rolling off in the distance. Again, like when I was at Bamford Edge. Just makes the trip up here all that much more worth it, really. The plan though for today is to, of course, explore Mam Tor. That's always been the plan for today, regardless if the weather turns miserable. At the moment, I really don't care. I'm having too great a time. Yesterday, last week's video, I was at Bamford Edge. Brilliant. And now I'm at destination number 2. The plan is to grab some great shots, which I feel like I'm already doing. Isn't too much light at the moment still. A bit miserable at the moment. Not too much light, still early, so I'm having to shoot at really high ISOs, hoping that's not going to ruin the images when I look back at them on Lightroom when I get home, because I've got one chance to grab these images. But of course I'm going to walk along the Great Ridge beyond the peak of Mam Tor a little bit, head back down to Blue John Cavern where I was staying last night. Really lovely, really quiet park up, to be honest. And then I'm going to walk around to the top, to the viewpoint over Winnat's Pass, grab a couple of shots there. I think that is where I'm then going to call it, have a rest, and then go see what else I can find elsewhere in the Peak District today. Not trying to exhaust myself too much, but just trying to make the most of being here in this limited amount of time that I've got. And I'm actually quite impressed that I'm able to do any filming around here altogether. I'm just walking up to the top of Mam Tor now, and there's so many crowds. You know how much I hate shooting around people, so that's a little bit of a win for me. Yay! It feels like almost Mount Everest. You see the Mount Everest shots of people standing around at the top. I heard that Mam Tor's a busy place to come at the best of times, but you almost don't believe it until you see it. But that's why I'm not talking too much at the moment, but hopefully I'll have some lovely photos to share anyway. doesn't matter where you go in the English countryside, you'll always eventually come across a kissing gate. You can tell it's a little bit quieter around me now because I'm happy to do a little bit of silly b-roll. But that is Mam Tor done. I'm now just walking back down towards Winnat Pass now. Mam Tor's just over there, so I'm not too far past it at the moment. It's been a slow trek so far, not just because I'm trying to conserve energy. There's 2 other locations I want to go to before the end of this trip to the peaks. I don't want to tire myself out, but there are just so many photogenic opportunities. Like I say, keyword from this trip is just wow, because just a minute ago, I was up on the top, got the classic shot of the gate of the path, of the hills or the rolling mountains along the Great Ridge, and just got some lovely light off in the distance. It was just perfect. It's just a beautiful moment. The rain that's been predicted by the Met Office is not turned up yet, so fingers crossed. I've really got my fingers crossed that it stays away. And got some lovely autumn colours just hitting the trees. I'll be stopping in a minute to take another shot. I will get to where I'm going today, I think. And here we are atop Winnat's Pass. And you know a word I'm going to use to describe this view, don't you? Wow. It's not the brightest of days, it's not the nicest of days, but come on, in a way, with the kind of low clouds, if you want to call it that, kind of rain that's on the horizon, it almost adds to the atmosphere here. I almost prefer it with these conditions to that of a nice, beautiful day. I certainly wouldn't want clear blue skies on a day like today. Looking back towards Mam Tor, which we've just explored around. Looking back towards Castleton. Behind is another world. It's like Cornwall, albeit landscapes rather than seascapes. It's a different world to what I'm used to back home in Kent. There's been so many photographic opportunities. Oh, I'm just so glad that I've come up here. I really am. Wouldn't have missed this for the world. And on that note, I think I'm going to end this trip around Mam Tor and around Winnat's Pass right here. I hope you've enjoyed watching it just as much as I've enjoyed putting it together. This has probably been one of my favourite days ever out with the camera. Fingers crossed that the images that I've been able to capture when I get home and view them on Lightroom, I've done this magnificent place justice. But for now, you take care. I'll hopefully see you for one more video here in the Peak District next week. But until then, it's goodbye.